So tonight is going to be really informal. It's going to be really interactive. And we are going to be doing a whole bunch of sales pages. We only had one person submit an email for their email series. And we had a lot of sales pages. And then we also had, trying to think if anybody submitted an affiliate post. Not completely sure, but we are gonna just jump in and dive into all of those. So thanks so much for joining me. And a couple of things that I wanted to mention just from the get-go as I was looking through all the sales pages, things to remember, and we'll kind of talk about these as we go along. But always check your sales page on mobile. Tonight, I'm just gonna be showing it on desktop, but do make sure, this is something that I'm having to learn, check it on mobile, see what it looks like on mobile. I know some of my sites aren't, and pages on my site aren't completely optimized for mobile right now. And so that's something that I'm just trying to be much better about, checking for mobile. And then also thinking about what message do people see as soon as they come to your site. So what is within 1 second of coming to your site? The brain is processing so much in 1 second. And so what are they, when they're coming to your sales page, what kind of messaging are they getting? And in 1 second, can they tell you what your sales page or your product is about? So think about what is above the fold. And then really think about, are you hitting those felt needs? We talked about this in the last coaching. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch that. But what are the felt needs of your audience? And are you hitting those felt needs right away, right out the gate as you are doing your sales page? Are you making sure that you're hitting on those? So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to get started, and we are just going to dive into the sales pages. And I have a second screen here so that I can see your comments, and I'm really going to encourage you to interact with this and share your thoughts because I want this to be interactive, and I want people to make sure that you are a participant of this, and this is not just me talking. So if you have any suggestions, if you disagree with me, if you have other thoughts, make sure that you share those. Okay, so first off, we are going to do Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, is your last name pronounced Weinger or Wagner, or am I totally botching it? I'm not sure. But this is Elizabeth J., however you pronounce her last name, and this is her course, Ditching the Water Cooler course. So I love right at the top where she says, escape your 9-to-5 and learn how to make money from home. It kind of really pops, and right away you just get it. Okay, it's Wigner, Elizabeth Wigner. I would not have guessed that, so thank you for telling me. Okay, so I love that you have your smiley face on here. One thing I will encourage you to consider is testing whether a video is more effective or whether having text is more effective. I have done a video in the past and had my sales page be more video driven. And I know that some people say that the video is really effective. For me personally, I have found that text and photos are more effective. And that is because I find that people scroll. So they want to just scroll, and so to sit and watch a video, I think it's great to have one on there, but I would test whether having a video up top is more effective, or maybe you put it down a little bit further so people, maybe when they're down here and you're saying to them, watch this video for more details, or whatever it is that you share on the video, because I don't know, because I didn't watch it, because I'm just coming on here. And also to remember that a lot of people are not going to be able to have sound. So I found that a lot of people are looking at their computer when they are somewhere, they're looking at their phone, or it's late at night, or they're at some place, and maybe they'll purchase something without ever watching a video because they can't turn on the sound. So just another thing to consider, if you have sound, make sure that you've tested that it's the most effective way for you to have a video versus you having text and photos. So you have the Get Started Now right here. That's a little high up to have a Get Started Now button, but the more that you can get people to click on it, the better. So if you are just trying to get people to click on it, then have it right here. They might just click over. The one thing though you could think too, and I'd love to hear what everyone thinks on this. If you click the Get Started Now button and you see $197, for some people, they're going to be like, oh, forget it, this course is too expensive. So that could actually hurt you versus help you, because you're going to turn people away before you've actually taken the time to really convince them that they need your course. I love how it's ready to ditch the water cooler and start working from home. Just not sure where to start, or maybe you've already started working from home, but you're feeling kind of stuck. You can breathe a sigh of relief because you're in the right place. This makes people feel seen and heard and known right from the get-go if this is someone who is wanting to start working from home. Now, when you say how many questions do you have about working from home, I'd love to hear what people think, but I think that this could sound a little vague. And I would challenge you, instead of saying, how many questions do you have? Maybe you say, I'm here to be your guide to help you. And then you list off what you're going to promise them. Remember, in the last session, we talked about the importance of promising what you could deliver. One more thing that I didn't talk about that I learned when I was at the StoryBrand workshop is Donald Miller talks a lot about being a guide and instead of an expert, and how when you have people look to you as a guide, it's really effective. And so I think that instead of saying, how many questions do you have about working from home? And then you list them off, you say, I'm here to be your guide to, help you with whatever. And you don't have to use the word guide, but that you're telling them right from the get-go, because this to me sounds a little bit like, yeah, I know you have, like, it just doesn't sound so concrete of like, here's what I can offer you. I love how you say, or maybe you just know you want, and then you slash that out, need to work from home. I think that's really kind of a fun way of capturing people's attention. When you slash something out, they are like, wait, hold up, what's this? And then they'll reread it some more. As for all the questions, well, that's where ditching the water cooler comes in. You won't have to worry about you could also, so if you notice this is pretty negative, you're not having to worry about Googling every bit of single bit of information. Instead, I think you could switch it to be a little bit more positive. Let me help you. I'm trying to think how we could switch it so that it's more positive. I have done all the work so that, or let's see. I was thinking, you could say, I'm going to save you time Googling. And so these, I also encourage you to not have ing words, but that you have strong action words. So you could say, stop. You can, with this course, you can stop Googling every single bit of information you don't know. Begin. I don't know, but so think about if you can remove ing words, it makes it a stronger sales pitch. Ing words just are a little bit more vague. Okay, with ditching the water cooler, I've taken the questions and the guesswork out of getting your work at home business started, and I've compiled it all in a no fluff format. So I love that you are saying right here, I will say that if you notice, so we had to scroll down quite a bit before we really knew what we were getting. So that's something that if there's any way that you can kind of tell people more up here. So you said escape your 9-to-5 and learn how to make money from home, but you didn't tell me what I was getting myself into. Whether it was a course, or maybe it's a freebie, or maybe it's a series, or maybe you want me to just sign up for something. Like, I don't know what it is. And so can you, closer to the top, tell me what you're doing? Here's an idea. So if you see right here on this Master Your Money, we're just kind of showing you, this is multiple courses, but it's showing you kind of what you get in one photo. And so that's something to consider doing so that people can kind of know from the get-go, this is a course. They can know whether it's a video course. Can I do it on my phone? Can I do it on my iPad? What am I getting? If you can show them in one photo, that a photo can speak way more than any words could ever speak. My certificate is invalid, and I don't know why. It was just working. So yeah, I apparently need to fix something. Okay, y'all get to, I feel like I broke my order form yesterday and this morning, and now I broke my site. Welcome to the beautiful world of having your own business, and it's an online business. It's like every day I break something, it feels like. Okay, so I love how it's 15 modules and 59 units, 87-page business builders workbook, and a private Facebook page. One thing I will say, and I'd love to hear feedback from the rest of you, when she says 15 modules and 59 units, does that feel overwhelming? Or does that feel like, wow, this is a really comprehensive course? What are your thoughts on that? Because for some people, that could actually feel overwhelming. So another thing to keep in mind is that you want to keep it really simple. You don't want people to think, well, I don't know. I mean, like, they want to be getting a good value, but at the same time, they want to know, I can actually do this. This is not going to take too much time, and this is not going to be too much material to go through. So there's a way. So Krista is saying that it feels overwhelming. I'd love to hear from the rest of you your thoughts on this. But if there is a way that you can break this down into something that feels a little bit more doable, then that might be something to consider. Because you're saying there's no fluffy, unnecessary material you have to wade through. But for some people, when they think 15 modules and 59 units, that sounds like a whole lot of material. So I'm sure it's really great because it's comprehensive, but you just don't want to turn people off because you're overwhelming them. Okay, I love that you have this photo and you tell about yourself. With Ditching the Water Cooler, I'm giving you the resources and tools to help you get started working from home today. Very actionable. Inside the course, you will learn a lot. And when you say, I would make these more comprehensive. So when you just say finding your niche, taxes, health insurance, building your website. Again, we have ing words and we don't have strong, I'm going to teach you, and then think of some unique things that you're going to teach them. What are some unique things that they're going to learn? What can you promise them? Like we talked about Lisa Turkers last week. So inside this course, you will learn a lot. Okay, when you say you will learn a lot, that's a very vague way of saying, I think you could replace that with stronger language. It's kind of like saying stuff or cool. It's a filler word that doesn't have oomph. And so each of the 15 modules and 59 units are packed with essential information you need to know to build your work from home career. That includes, again, I would love for it to say more like, I will teach you how to, or something along those lines. Or when, at the end of the program or at the end of the course, you will have learned how to, and then you're going to list off specifics that it's not just marketing offline and online, how to use and not use social media. It would be more like my 3 secrets to exploding your Instagram growth in the next 2 months. So you see how you're being super specific? That's going to sell so much more than if you just kind of say how to use and not use social media. So how can you be super specific so that people are going to be like, wow, this is something that is different than the other courses. She's promising me this. Amy Lee, I'm so glad that I make you feel like you can mess up. I definitely mess up a lot in my life. Okay, and then you have take a tour inside the course right there, which is great. But again, you keep saying 15 modules and 59 units. I feel like that is actually not as strong of a selling point as something like in 1 month, you can whatever. Like if I hear 15 modules and 59 units, I can feel like, well, I'm never going to be able to finish that. And I know that sounds weird, but for me, that feels overwhelming. So is this course right for you? I love how you have that. I think you could even fill this out a little bit more. And working at home isn't for people just wanting to do the minimal amount of work. I would maybe, I don't know if this is necessary. I think you could either have this one or this one, but you could instead say, is this course right for you? And you could say, it's not for you if, it is for you if. And so then you could kind of contrast those. And then you have the bonuses. I don't see where you say the value of the bonus. So that might be something to consider, that you add what the value is for that. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is I don't see any reviews or testimonials. So I love the other frequently asked questions. I would love for you to add some reviews and testimonials. And I also think you need some color. I just feel like if we look at the whole sales page, it's just pretty blah. So I would add some color to it, some pops of color, and I would also show something, a photo or graphic of some sort that would give an idea of what people are getting in the course. And then I think my biggest critique for you is that you need much more specific details of exactly what people are going to learn, the exact methods and strategies. You're going to tease them with that, so they're going to want to go ahead and purchase. Okay, thank you for letting me critique your page. Next up, we have RuthieGray.mom, and this is her authentic Instagram course. So we're just gonna do a quick scroll through. One of the things, I'm assuming that this is not live yet because you have the 0 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes on there. If not, probably we need to change that countdown timer. I also noticed that you have Mama Needs the Word Study of the Month challenge. Any kind of pop-ups that you have on your pages, unless they're related to your actual course, I would take them off because that's just encouraging people to pop away, or it's just getting in their way. I think that you could have more beautiful photos up here or something, because when I come to your page, now I don't know what it's like on mobile, but when I come to your page, I literally see the top of your head. So I would pull something up so that we're seeing more color or something right when we hit the page. The other thing is, since this is about Instagram, I need to see Instagram. I need to see your phone. I need to see, so you holding your phone, you using your phone. I need to see Instagram so that I don't have to read to know that this is about Instagram. Amy Lee, you said you asked folks you knew or who were already fans to view your course and then asked to use their responses. So that is back to where we were talking about the testimonials. That is such a great way to get testimonials. And I really encourage people who are launching something new, go to your social media. Set up a form and send people to it on all your social media, in your email newsletter, on your blog, and say, I'm launching this, and I would love to get 10 people to give me really honest feedback. Would you be willing to do that? And I actually do this a lot of times before I will publish something. I will ask for really honest feedback, and then I will make changes. And then I will ask the people, those same people or new people, if they would be willing to give me a testimonial. This has been very effective and is a great way to get a testimonial. Okay. So Ruthie, you need some Instagram. You need a really beautiful Instagram worthy photo if you want to sell an Instagram course. And also I noticed that there's a lot of white space here that you can't really tell that it's a photo. I'd love to see something other than stock photos on here. This is really tiny. Your purchase buttons, it's really great if you can do buttons, and especially buttons that when you hit them, that they actually change colors. So it kind of makes them interactive. So make sure that your buttons are one of the largest text on your page. And so I like this. I would like to see, is it video? Is it audio? What is it? Because I can't tell from this. And just from looking at here, I can't tell what kind of course is this? Because for someone like me, I'm going to want to know, is this a download? Is this an ebook? Is this workbook? Is this worksheets? Is this audio? Is this video? How am I going to consume this course? I also feel like you're kind of using, I don't feel like these fonts go together. So that's just another thing to consider. These fonts, it just feels like they're almost clashing fonts. So another thing to consider. And if you're selling an Instagram course, you need to make it look like Instagram, which what sells on Instagram is beautiful. I almost said beautiful. Beautiful, pretty, I was combining those two words. Beautiful, pretty photos and things that are kind of not real life, but that is what sells on Instagram because everybody wants to have a gorgeous Instagram feed. So just something to consider. Authentic Instagram engagement is for you if you, so I think you could beef these up a little bit more like we talked about. You do have, so you have some action words, but then some non-action words. What's the other word for non-action word? I'm not sure, but I don't know what word, passive. So just something to consider, make sure that your words match when you start. Okay, so you do have a button right there. Let's see, what would it feel like to, I think you could probably make this stronger, but I think this is fairly strong. The other thing, it's great that you have these testimonials. One of the things that I would love to see is that you actually show your graph your Instagram increase in following or something, so that you're showing real-time results from people who they took your course or what you had as far as real-time results, whether that's traffic, whether that's engagement, whether that's likes, comments. Show that in here. There's a lot of text, but I think you need to show more than you need to tell. And there's a lot of bolding going on in here. And so I would probably just scroll through because there's not enough breaking it up here. And I think that you could make this a little bit more interesting. And again, see how you have a different font going on here now too. So there's a lot of different fonts going on and it doesn't feel super clean and cohesive and Instagram-y. So just keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that it's very clean, cohesive, that the fonts match, and that you're not doing lots of different kinds of fonts. See, this is not the same font. This is when you do 7 modules, that should be larger as a header text, and then these should be smaller than the header text. So just little things like that, because you want to make sure like you have this floating bullet point right here. Little things like that make it seem as if you're not as professional. And so you want to make sure that you look for the little details because those details matter. There's an extra space right here. I think that this is not capitalized. And I think you could give more information on what you're giving them in this course. And like we talked about, what are you promising in this course? What are they going to be able to do as a result of this course? What's going to change in their Instagram? Tell them that. And then if you can find people to give you testimonials, to give you, real-time, real-life results as a result of this course, that's going to be so much more valuable than just talking about it. All right, moving on. This one is the Deliberate Mom, and it's the Becoming Deliberate Mom workbook. I like how everything looks very clean, but you need some photos. There's no photos. I need a picture of you. I need a picture of the workbook, ideally. So here's the picture of the workbook. I need it up here because I need something going on than just text, or there needs to be more colors or something. Be the best mom you can be starting today. I like how you're bolding these specific sections here. That kind of makes them stand out. Again, you have this workbook. This workbook has everything you need. And again, you can say, I will teach you how to, and then let's beef these up. So hone in on your parenting vision. I would say, the three strategies to help you be more something, or my 2-step plan for, or the one thing you should do every day, or in 15 minutes you can. So you're giving them very specific. It's kind of like when I talk about goal setting and how you need to have the goals that are actually actionable. So the more that you can bring that in, the more that it sets your product apart, the more that it intrigues people, and the more that it tells them you're going to give them very specific, actionable stuff in this product. get instant access for only $15. I like this photo, way to go. And I like that you have these two options down here. I think that you could possibly make the prices a little bit different. That's what I would encourage you to do. If you can have something that's a little bit, maybe at least $10 difference, because $5 difference is almost too small to even make two options. So the Reflective Parenting Bundle is, I'm trying to see, you get an instant download of the Get Reflective Parenting Journal. Is that what is the change? So maybe you could add some videos or worksheets or something else to then bump the price up just a little bit more to just make it more compelling for them to spend the extra money. I love that you have these frequently asked questions down here, and that's fantastic. I don't see any testimonials. And so I would love some testimonials, and I would love some photos of you with your kids. That makes you look a lot more like a real mom than just a photo of you by yourself. So bring some realness, and maybe even if there's some way that you can introduce your kids, or you can talk about specifically that when you put these things into practice, it made this difference in your home, and then you show your kids. Like, tell a story somewhere on this page of how this has changed your life. And then you also need some testimonials. There's a review at the bottom. Okay, well, you got to have more than one review at the bottom, okay? So get some people and put them somewhere in here. And it would be really cool if you could get some moms to show, you know, like 2 moms who they would allow you to use a picture of them with their kids. And then they give very specific details of how this helps them and made a difference in their home with their kids. Next up, a fresh start on a budget, the clutter-free ebook, How to Finally Be Clutter-Free. One thing that I will mention is right here, this popping out. Always disable any sort of pop-ups, like I said, on your page, if it's a sales page, unless it has to do with your actual product. If it's some kind of thing like it's a, you know, an exit pop-up, so that when they try to exit, they're actually getting a pop-up that's offering them something to get them to sign up or stay on the page, or special offer or something, that's great. But if it's this follow on Pinterest, you need to disable it from this page, because that's just going to cause people to click away, and you do not want people to click away. Okay, how to finally be clutter-free. I always hate to be critical, but if I'm doing critiques, I have license to be critical because you submitted it. And I'm going to tell you that you need a better cover. So hire somebody. You can go to Fiverr.com, or if you don't have really any money, and you can hire somebody for $5 to design a cover for you. Or if you know a friend that has graphic design skills, you know, hire somebody to make a really great cover for you, because the cover is what people are going to judge the product by. So if they want to be clutter-free, this actually looks a little cluttered to me with using these different fonts. It's not just this smooth, like, really professionally looking, well done, minimalistic sort of cover. And that's what you need to sell this type of product. A simple to read and follow guide. Okay, so a simple to read and follow guide. That doesn't really make sense. So you would either say simple to read and simple to follow guide, or a simple to follow guide, something, but a simple to read and follow guide doesn't make complete sense. To make your home clutter-free. Are you wishing your home could be more peaceful and organized place? Okay, so must follow tips on what to declutter and what you can get rid of today. So do you see how these things don't match? A simple to read and follow guide to make your home be clutter-free. This needs to either be a question, or this needs to say, I'm going to teach you, or have you ever felt, or something, if there's going to be a colon, because this is not grammatically correct to have a colon there, and then to have a question, and then a statement, and then a question. So just make sure that these all match. It's little things like that. And I know writing copy for sales pages is hard. And I make mistakes all the time. I love that you looks like this is a review. Is this a review? Yes. Little things like you need spaces in between your punctuation here. I love in the book, you will discover, get your family involved, how to overcome past decluttering problems, and the first step in this process, setting. I'm guessing that this is someone who is from another country. And I'm wondering if this has gotten translated, because the English on this is not, let me see. Maybe not. Does anybody know? Okay, I'm going to critique it like it's not been translated, but if it has, I'm so sorry, because I don't want to be ragging on somebody who they wrote this in a different language and they don't even really speak English. In this book, you will discover, so you're saying how to overcome past decluttering problems. That's great. I love how this is set up, but get your family involved. You will discover, get your family involved. It needs to be the 3 steps to get your family involved. You will discover the first step in the decluttering process. You need to probably define what this process is and how to set things up to continue to be successful. So just make sure that whenever you have in the book, you will discover, make sure that all of those things actually finish the sentence correctly, or it's confusing. So I would love to see maybe more details on what you're going to teach them. Are you going to teach them what kind of decluttering? Are you going to have them declutter, their entire home? Is it going to be certain areas? Is it week by week? What's the process? Give details on the process as well. Next up, from Productive Mama, Freezer Meal Club Guide and Success Course. Okay, Amy Lee, first off, I'm going to rag on your title. Freezer Meal Club Guide and Success Course. That's a mouthful, and I need something that tells me a little bit more what's going on here. So Freezer Meal Club Guide and Success Course, I think you could make it a little bit more actionable or something, because right here that doesn't tell me, is this a freezer meal club? Is this how to have a freezer meal club? Is this how to be successful at freezer meal clubs? Is it how to do freezer meals? Is this for a group of people? So just think, how can you in this one little area right here tell me with the title what I'm getting? And again, then you have a video here, which can be great, but I think that you need words first and then bump the video down. Although if you do A/B testing and you find out that the video converts better, then go for it. But like a lot of people said earlier tonight, they don't watch videos on sales pages. And I think that's fairly universal that a lot of people aren't going to watch the sales video. So just think about how you can make sure that you're telling the story without the video. See how a freezer meal club can at least half your dinner cooking. Half your dinner cooking. That sentence doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Are you trying to tell me that it's going to save me time? Then maybe see how a freezer meal club can cut your cooking time in half. Or how a freezer meal club can save you 25 hours in the kitchen per month. Something like that. Give me more specifics. Don't be intimidated by starting a club. The benefits are outrageous. In addition to discovering how much time, money, and stress you'll save with the freezer meal club, you'll also, so you're teaching people how to start a freezer meal club. That's what I'm getting. So I would say that you call it something more like how to successfully start a freezer meal club, or 4 weeks to a great freezer meal club. No, probably more like how to successfully start a freezer meal club. And then what would be really cool to have really close to the top is a photo of you with your freezer meal club. So if you have other people that are doing this with you, that you're all in your kitchen with all your freezer meals together, so that in one photo, you're telling people what a freezer meal club is. And then I would appeal to their felt needs. So people's felt needs here would be they struggle to get dinner on the table, or they find that it's really, they are spending too much time in the kitchen, or they hate cooking, or they want to save money on going out to eat. And so think about what are the top 3 different felt needs that your Freezer Meal Club guide are going to help. And then I want you to say them right here. You know, do you hate cooking? Or do you wish you didn't always have to spend so much time in the kitchen? What would it feel like to have dinners at the ready, you know, or dinners in the freezer? Or just what would it feel like to pull dinner out of the freezer every morning and not have to cook, or something like that. And so you're then appealing to their felt needs, and then you're saying, you know, enter the Freezer Meal Club. And then you explain what a Freezer Meal Club is, because not everybody is going to know. And then you're going to tell them how it's changed your life. And then you're going to tell them about your product that's going to help them be able to do the same. So I feel like you need a kind of like a what, why, and how, or something along those lines with this, because otherwise I'm confused what this is. I'm not sure what a Freezer Meal Club is. You know, I mean, I know, but I'm saying that a lot of people wouldn't know right off the bat. And so you need to explain to them why, or explain to them what it is. You need to tell them how it's made a difference in their life, and how it can make a difference in your life, and how it can make a difference in their life. And then kind of then pitch your freezer meal guide. And I would love for you to have more photos with you cooking with your Freezer Meal Club. And then I'd love photos from people having their own Freezer Meal Clubs as a result of your book. So you've got a lot of testimonials, way to go. I would probably sprinkle them throughout. So somewhere up here, I would have, you know, pretty close where they've just scrolled down a little bit, a testimonial from somebody. And if you can get a picture of them with their Freezer Meal Club, that's going to be really, really fantastic. And that's going to say a lot. And then make sure that they are telling how it's changed their life. And so if you can, okay, let's see. I appreciated that she talked about families with food allergies, picky eaters, and small freezers, all challenges I personally struggle with. I would love for this person to dive a little bit deeper into that. So if you get a testimonial from somebody and you can tell that they have something to share, but they didn't quite go there, you can write them back and you can say to them, hey, I love that you talked about food allergies and picky eaters. Could you tell us a little bit more, you know, how this book has helped you in your struggle with that? And get them to tell that. How long is too long for a testimonial? Amy Lee asked. I don't think there's any link that you're like, oh, that's way too long. I mean, if it's 5 paragraphs, probably not, unless it's really, really profound and that's a big part of your sales page. But I would focus more on, so I usually edit them down to just a few sentences that really tell how this changed their life. So edit it and focus on different things. So maybe, you know, Kristen is a mom of 3 little ones. Tia is a working mom. Amy is single. And Renee, she's a grandma. And so that you're kind of showing also differing perspectives and seasons of life and how this product is going to help multiple people. So the more that you can tell stories from other people, the better. I also noticed that you have these centered. I always like it when you have bullet points, that you actually have the bullet points all start and be, is it called left adjusted? That's what I always try to go for. And then be sure to grab top 10 foods all organized moms keep in their freezer at the very bottom of this page. Go down and see. So I would encourage you, instead of having this, you probably know what I'm going to say, I would have a sign up for it. But I probably wouldn't put the sign up in the middle of your sales page. I would put it at the very bottom, and then I would have it as an exit pop-up. So when people try to click away, if they haven't purchased, then it'll pop up and say, did you get your top 10, you know, the top 10 foods all organized moms keep in their freezer? Click here to sign up. All right. This one is from Maneuvering Math. I think it's Nicole. I'm just thinking of that off the top of my head, so I might have totally just guessed your name wrong. Wait, I think you signed your name. Let me see. Noelle. Hey, I was close. I was close. My middle name is Nicole, so I guess Noelle, Nicole, very similar. Anyway, okay, so this is the last of my 5-day email sequence. So I'm guessing that she has been promoting Maneuvering Math, or she said yesterday I shared more details about Maneuvering Math, or skill-based intervention program, and I know you probably have questions about it. Which, when you do an email series and you answer people's questions, that is highly engaging. People really like that. And in fact, I just sent out an email last night and I titled it Answering Your Questions. And I got so many people that opened it up. I also have said, do you have any questions? Or your questions answered. People seem to really like those types of emails. Okay, so Noelle, I would encourage you, if this is the last of your 5-day email sequence, one thing that you might consider is that you send this out in the morning, because this is a longer email, and then at night, maybe about 7 p.m., you send a final reminder that's a super short, maybe 3-sentence email that just says something like, just your last reminder that, or just a quick reminder that Maneuvering Math, the deal on Maneuvering Math ends tonight. I would always encourage you to have some type of deal that you're offering to them if they are in an email sequence, just to create that urgency. So I love that you're, answering their questions in this email. Who is Maneuvering? What is Maneuvering Math? Who is it for? What is included? But when you list what is included, I would have it just be all bullet points. So if there's a way that you can make it just 3 simple bullet points or 5 simple bullet points or something, because I feel like it kind of looks like that's all that's included when you're scrolling, instead of realizing, oh, these things are all included. I just can't tell because they're not in bullet points. And then I noticed that you have the sign up right there. I'm trying to see, it looks like, so you have it there. You don't have a link anywhere else. So I would put a few more links for sure throughout this. So just the more links that you have, obviously don't go overboard, but the more links you have in emails, typically the more you're going to see conversions, because you want to just get people over to your sales page. The more people that you get over to your sales page, the more things you're going to sell. And then also, you don't have any testimonials in here. And since this is longer, I would end with a testimonial to tell them how this is going to impact. I think this is for teachers. So it's like how this is going to help you as a teacher. And then, yes, I want to sign me up. As always, feel free to reach out with any questions. I want this to be a great fit for you and your students. And if you have any sort of money back guarantee, then I would also include that in your PS. That's a great thing to do in your PS. Like, PS, if you don't love this, this is a no risk purchase. You can just email us and we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. All right, next up is don'tclipmywings.com, and this is Plan Your Hatch. I am not sure if you have looked at this on all sizes of computers, but one thing is that it doesn't look like this is formatted for my size of computer. So just something to consider. Make sure that you have it so that it is going to change depending upon the size, whether someone's looking on a device or whether they're on a laptop, whether they're on a desktop. I cannot think of it right now. What is the word whenever it's the sizing changes? I know some of you techies know what it is. Let me know. But so that needs to be corrected. And then this here says logo. And so I would either put a logo there or take that off. Plan your hatch. Learn what chicken breeds is right for you. Learn what chicken breeds. I think that should be are right for you because breeds is plural. Find out what age is best for you to purchase. And if you decide to hatch eggs, discover what items are needed and learn what to look for in a hatching egg supplier. So it's a responsive, thank you guys. It's responsive, and that's what it's called when it changes sizing. Most themes that you're going to purchase are going to have, you want to look for a responsive theme so that it's going to change sizing depending upon what device it's on. So if you don't, I'm not sure what you're building this on, but you might consider switching to something that is a theme based so that you can have a responsive theme. Okay, so is this an ebook or a course? I can't tell. So that's one thing that I would definitely make sure that right from the get-go, I can tell whether it's a course. You said start learning now. This is another thing that just a simple thing. If you see that opened up and it didn't open in a new window, you definitely want to make sure on this type of thing, if it's a sales page, that I typically recommend that you have it open in a new window just so people can go back and see this if they have any questions. And then also, if for some reason they click over to your sales page and then they get distracted on the internet and then they forget even what the sales page was for, they aren't confused and just click out of it, but they'll have this window open as well. And so they will remember, oh yeah, I was going to buy that course. Okay, so it looks like it's an ebook. I'm going to click over here to see. I think it's an ebook. So that is something that you definitely need to define on your page. So try to make sure that you define what this is. I think you can have a photo of I think it's an ebook. So I think you can have a photo of it. And then I would have some sort of question. Like, what's your felt need of your target purchaser? What is their felt need? What are they going to be struggling with? And so have that as a question up here. And then in this ebook, I will teach you and then list off, like we talked about, the specifics of what you're going to teach them. And then I love how you have photos, y'all. You can learn a lot from this. She has her own photos. You need this. So she's showing it in real life. She's demonstrating she has done this. She knows what she's doing. And so I think up here we just need, I would take these off also. And I would, if you can't figure out how to fix it, at least I'm trying to think. Well, I think if you keep messing with it, you'll figure it out. And then also search to see what your site is built on and search with your issue. I do this all the time. I Google it and I will say, I'll just come up with, my site is over the line. I mean, because I'm not techie, so I don't know what to call it. So I will just say what in normal human terms I could come up with, and then usually I will find a solution. And I actually, every once in a while, teach my techie people something because I will have Googled something and found an article that they didn't find because they were Googling with all the techie terms. But anyway. Okay, so I was thinking you could also have like 1, 2, 3 on here. This is something you could consider that you're going to, I don't know if there's different lessons or chapters, but you could also, so with the photos, you could say, chapter 1, I'll teach you how to find out what you need to hatch eggs and types of places that sell hatching eggs. Chapter 2, I'm going to teach you. So just kind of so that they know very clearly that this is what you're teaching them in the book. And then if you say this worksheet, if you can have a photo of the worksheet, or take a screenshot of the graphic of a worksheet and include it on here, that can also be a good thing. And who this is not for, it doesn't look like you said who it is for. So you might include that as well. This is not for, is kind of a negative thing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having it. Just know that it can be sort of negative. So if you have who this is for first, it just makes it a little bit more positive. And then I love that you have a bonus as well. Great job. And just to be encouraged, I built all my own stuff when I was first starting out, and I had plenty of issues like this. So, and there's so many times I pull my hair out and be like, I don't know how to fix it. So this is the best that we got, and we're just going to have to go with it. And I sold thousands of dollars worth of stuff on really, not well-built stuff because I did the best that I could do. All right, this is Health Transformation Academy. I'm just going to scroll down so we can see Okay, so this is a detox devotional for only $17. So this is going to guide you step by step on how to get rid of things in both your mind and your body that may be holding you back from health. Instead of saying detox devotional for only $17, I would show a photo of it and I would address the felt needs. So it's kind of like you're selling before you're telling them why they need to buy it. So I would first tell them why they need to buy it, which you're doing a good job here. Do you often feel tired? Know you should eat better? Have many emotional burdens weighing you down? I like that. I would have 3 dots here or only no dots, little things. I know I'm picky about that. And so I love that you say you're not alone. Great job that you have a photo of yourself. I think you could have it even larger and maybe kind of almost like a background-ish photo here. And then I love that you are both a registered nurse and a nutritional therapist. And so you are clearly, qualified for this. Things you won't have to do if you buy the Detox Devo, things you will do. I love how this is really creative, how you have this X and then this check mark. And so great job with that. Super creative. And I think we could all learn something from that. And also I wonder if detoxing is safe and how to do it right. Pull your hair out, trying to find the right program, go through extremes to see the benefits. So great job. I just would love to see more pictures of the devotional so that it's kind of like pictures of people. Like I talk about in your post, having yourself, when you show them your product, it just makes them connect with it more from the get-go. I love how you have this, a daily devotion, audio devotion, simple homework, a meal plan, and video classes. This is beautifully done. Way to go. And then you have a bonus meal plan for only $17. So I think the biggest thing, I don't see any testimonials. And if there's a way that you could make these line up so that there was the same amount here, now probably on a mobile device, it's not going to be so obvious, but if you could have about the same, I think that would be great. And there's a lot of white space here. So I would just love for there to be some type of big photo up here that is showing the devotional. If you could actually take your own picture with the devotional. I don't know if you could like print it out or make it look on a Kindle or something like that, and then have it like a cool picture with it. I don't know if that's possible. It's just something that I'm throwing out there. And then I'm assuming on mobile that these are more lined up because on here there's a lot of white space. But great job. Fantastic job. Okay, this is a pen adapter for your Cricut machine. And I do need not know what a pen adapter is. So I'm sorry, y'all, because I wish that I did, but I don't. So, but I can still critique the sales page. So I love that there is I'm assuming this is your own photo here, and I love your own photos. So great job on that. Oh, I see. You like stick it in there and do that. Super cool. Okay, I don't know anything about a Cricut machine. So you see how I didn't even know anything about a Cricut machine, but because you had these great photos, it made sense to me. I still don't know anything about a Cricut machine, but I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's what it is. So I love that you're showing this in action and great high quality photos. I love that you have different colors and that you have these to match. And then y'all look at this. So she starts it out with, I'm so in love with this adapter. Thank you for having them so they can be purchased. That just makes you right then, you're like, oh, I want this. I need this. It's like we talked about when you stand in line and people will go stand in line behind you, even if they don't know what they're standing in line for, because they think, oh, this is a cool thing. I need to get in line. I don't know what it is, but I better get in line. And so when you have something like this, it's kind of like, oh, wow, look. This is so cool. Reviews just make a big difference. If you think about, if you go to Amazon and there are no reviews for something, are you going to buy it? Probably not. Probably not unless you absolutely are sure that it's, the brand that you love and the size that you wear and the whatever. But reviews are what sells. So I love that she has that and she has it in pink too. Are you tired of paying a ton of money to use brand name pens on your Cricut? Me too. That's why I teamed up with my husband to create this pen adapter that fits any standard size pen to meet your decorative needs. So she's telling you, here's your felt need right here. And then she's kind of telling a story because she's saying, that's why I teamed up with my husband. So she kind of brings herself down to, she's just like you. She's just teaming up with her husband to, you know, solve this problem. And you kind of just feel like, I like this person. I want to order from them. And then she describes what it is. And then look at this. She says, here's what customers are saying. That needs to not have an apostrophe after it because that's not possessive. Okay, sorry. Sorry, y'all. I just see these things. I should maybe have been an editor, but then I should edit my own work because I'm always making mistakes like that. So she is using a picture from somebody and she's using their, you know, how we talked about having an actual, take a screenshot of a real Facebook or Instagram or direct message where they've written in. And then she underlined this so that it stands out. This is so much more effective than just writing it out because it makes it real. It brings it down to earth. Like this is an actual person. She didn't make this up. And so great job. I don't even know what this is, but I kind of want to buy it because it kind of looks cool. So great job on that. And I wanted to show you this just as an example of a sales page that it's just in a shop, but she's doing so much good stuff. That the only thing I might say is I would change this color so that it matches this color scheme because that's just a very different color scheme. It stands out, but it kind of stands out odd. Okay, this is Do a New Thing, and she has a pop-up that is for the next session. I'm going to click out of that so I can go to her site. I actually really loved the language on this. There was kind of a lot of writing here, but I love the language. Has your God-given dream been wandering in the wilderness while you try to figure it out alone? You've been circling this mountain long enough. Now turn north. And then if you are a Christian communicator or leader with a big audacious dream, then you already know how hard it is to stay motivated, keep focused, and complete the projects that will grow your influence and impact for Christ. Does this sound familiar? And so she's talking about your felt needs, and she's kind of highlighting the most important part. You're tired of sitting alone behind your laptop screen. I love this. Girl, you have circled this mountain long enough. The good news is you are not alone. And so then she's telling you exactly in the Move Forward Mastermind is a place for go-getter Jesus girls where a little bit of guidance and a whole lot of tough grace help you finish what you started. Great job on this. I think it's Krista. Is it Krista? Yes. Great job. I love this. I love your language in this. I love how you are talking about 30 plus years in project management to develop 12 Move Forward principles. Do you guys see how that is so much better than her saying, I've got a lot of experience and I want to teach you some stuff? I mean, that's not what any of you said. But when you say a lot of things, or I'm going to teach you in this program about, and then you start kind of vague. But when she says, I've used 30 plus years in project management to develop 12 Move Forward principles. And then so you're like, wow, this is going to be really actionable. I love this. Make a plan, repeat what works, fix what doesn't work, adapt to change, leverage your community, and 6 other action-oriented principles. So she's not giving them all to you. She's giving you a teaser, but then you gotta sign up if you want to get the rest of them. And this is really compelling as well. I would say one thing. Your photos are a little small, and then your text is a little squished. So I would make your text a little bit bigger, and I would also, I think there's too much text that people are going to skim. Too much text. Again, if you could make bullet points here or something to just make it a little bit easier to read. This is too much text in one paragraph. So you could say within our private Facebook group, and then you say have 2 live group sessions where you can ask, or 2 live group sessions. You can ask questions and share your struggles. You can be on the hot seat for personal attention. So you're bullet pointing out these things versus just having it all in one paragraph. People are going to skim and they're not going to see how much benefit is going to come from this. And then plus these amazing bonuses. Doesn't look like you have a price point on them. So I would, if you can, put a price point. And then you say free course and free download. Instead, I would put the price and I would slash it out Because if you say free course, then people are going to think, oh, it's already free. So that's not even a good bonus. But if you have the price and then you slash it out, then that tells people there's a lot of value there. And I love how you have photos of people and they're talking specifically about how this has helped them. You're just making me want to sign up because you're doing such a good job with your words and your communication. And so as a communicator seeking to reach out to communicators, your language on this page is so important and you're doing such a great job of selling it. And then you have what other smart people ask before they join. You guys, do you see that right there? She didn't just say frequently asked questions. This is brilliant. I love this, Krista. So what other smart people ask before they join? It's saying, if you're a smart person, you're going to ask this too. And so it's just playing on just kind of making people feel validated that it's okay to have these questions because other smart people did too. And other smart people asked before they joined. Do you see just right there, that little bit of phrasing there is saying they were smart people, they asked these questions, and then they joined. So you never know how just little things like that can make such a difference. I don't know. It's not going down anymore. So yeah, I think just breaking things up a little bit more and telling more in bullet points what they're going to be getting might be a more effective thing. And then I'd love to see larger photos. I also love how you broke this up. If you see how she has the different colors that kind of make this pop behind the sections, I think that that's really fantastic. And then somebody said that they loved how she has the handwritten signatures, and I love that too, and the photos. All right, we're gonna just try to finish out what we started here. I know I said 10, I've already done 10, but we're just gonna do 4 more. You get a little bonus round here because I wanna just get through as many as I can. Okay, one-time offer. I'm assuming that this is actually a, I think this is Tripwire because she's saying one-time offer, which is a really fantastic way to say it. Do you want to make more money at craft fairs? Yay, your freebie is on its way. Yes, it is. I don't think that that's supposed to have an apostrophe because it's not for, is that? It is way? No, yes. Your freebie is on its way to your inbox. In the meantime, check out the super special offer only available on this page for the next few minutes. Great wording there. I love your cover. So cute. I don't do anything with craft fairs and I want to buy this because your cover is so cute. I love how she has this slashed out right there. So anytime you can slash a price out, that's really effective and it calls attention to it. Get 15% off now. I will say that 15% off for most people is not going to really sell it. So if you can have it be more like, you know, if you could say like, get $6 off right now, or, you know, so you're going to have to go up in your percentage, but, or 40% off. I've found, at least for my audience, that anything below 25% doesn't really move the needle. But if it's above, it's 25% or above, that moves the needle. So just something to consider. If it is a downloadable, you can slash it by quite a lot and it's not going to hurt you because it's just going to be more money in your pocket. All you have to pay very little. You know, your overhead is very little on a downloadable. How do I know if this is for me? I love that. And then yes, this is for me. You definitely need to fix your timer here if you are doing this on an ongoing basis. I would put the timer also down lower because when I see a timer, you have it down lower, but I might not put it right there because when I see a timer, I kind of think we're to the bottom of a sales page. Does anybody else feel like that? Oh, Amanda, okay, that's what the affiliate offer for a discount. I would ask for more, yes. Or the other thing you could do is you could, I'm trying to think, I would ask for more, see if they'll do more. I understand, I didn't realize it was an affiliate, so thank you for telling me that makes more sense. You could, I'm just trying to think if you actually told the final price or if you asked them if they would be willing to take $5 off or something, or something like that, just to make it a little bit more compelling. The other thing is, if you could also, if they won't budge on their price, you could not say what it's originally priced. You could just say that it's at this great price or the lowest price or something, and you don't tell them the original price, you just tell them the lowest price, as long as that is the lowest price. And then that can be really compelling too, so that they're not, now if they're having to use a discount code, you could just say, get it for blah, blah, blah with this discount code. Now you could try it, and my audience is weird, so I'd love to hear from the rest of you. Would you feel like 15% off is worth getting excited about? And if not, do you have any other suggestions of the ways she could pitch this so that it would be exciting, even if it's only 15% off? And Elizabeth says she's seen sales pages with timers all over the place. It doesn't seem the end of the page to her. So again, remember that what I say doesn't always go. Okay, I love that you say, yes, this is for me and I want this. Those buttons are really close together though, so I'd probably choose one for this section. And then I love how you have your own photo and you're showing yourself. And I love this photo, even though I think it's probably a stock photo. And then if there is a way that you could make these a little bit more actionable, I love that you say apply, decide, create, improve. But maybe you could say improve your sales and selling techniques with these 3 secrets or something, where you're just telling them, and like we talked about where she said 30 plus years and I'm going to give you these 12 tactics or whatever it was. And so it makes it more actionable and less vague if they know more specifics. What are you waiting for? I found that is really great. And I love that you say, I'm ready to make more money. So you're doing a great job. And I'm excited for you to see how this goes, because you set this up really well. Okay, this is from The Modest Mom, and this is character badges. And these are super cute. I love how she has right on here, printable PDF. So she's telling you that right here with the stamp, it's making it look like it's cool, but she's telling you that it's a printable. It's not something that they are going to mail you. Looking for a fun and effective way to teach your child good character. What's included? And then you get these different things. I think you could possibly consider explaining these a little bit more, unless you feel like they really clearly stand on their own. And I was going to see if okay, so down here, she does explain, and I love this. So she shows each individual one, and she shows exactly how it works, which that is something else to consider, how if you show it and then tell it. So do the show and tell hand in hand, and it's a lot more effective. And then super cute, 40 different chores and responsibilities to choose from, what others are saying. If there's any way that you could have actual photos of these people, or you could say like mom of this many or whatever. So just make it a little bit more to show that it works for different ages and different types of moms. That's always effective as well. Like working mom, stay-at-home mom. I don't like to really define them, but I have so many people who, when they come for my courses, they'll be like, well, I don't think this will work for me because I'm a working mom. And so if you can highlight people who are in different seasons of life, then you're kind of dispelling the myth that it won't work for other people who maybe aren't in the same season of life as you. Okay, but overall, I love the colors. You guys see how this pops so beautifully? I love that. I love how you see everything that you get designed by parents, for parents. Buy it once, use it forever. That's really kind of, that is compelling right there. You spend money one time and you're going to use it forever. This is from The Modest Mom, Amy Lee. This is the character badges from The Modest Mom. So it's actually on lead pages, or I could give you the actual thing. And then I love how, she's kind of talking about the felt needs and what you get. So really quickly, you can see that and a photo, but then you scroll down and here's a video.
Hi, we're Sean and Carolina.
And so they're introducing themselves, and we won't watch the whole thing, but you can see they're showing it in use. So this is a really effective way to use a video, because you aren't making the video be the selling point, but it's an additional thing, and it shows them as real people with their kids and all that, so you're getting to know them. I would love to see more pictures on this page, though, of your kids using this, and I don't see that, so I'd love to see it up on your fridge or wherever you put them. In addition to the video, I think you could have some more photos of these actually being used to just make it feel a little bit more actionable. But very well done. Okay, finally, this is Feels Like Home blog, and this is 44 positive affirmations for defeating cravings and overcoming addiction. And I love how this is, you're telling a story. 8 years ago, when I was in the Behavioral Health Center, which means mental hospital in plain English, I learned about the power of positive affirmations. So you're telling a story, you're bringing people in with your own story and how this has made such a difference in your life. And you're showing pictures of them. I would love to see, okay, so that's what I was gonna say, how to use these. Here's what I did with these cards. And so if you could have a photo of showing you using these, so not you, but you could have you in the photo, but laminate for durability. So then maybe, you show your box or envelope that you keep them in. Maybe you show them up on your fridge or posted somewhere, your car's dashboard. So you're showing them in use. That would make them seem a little bit more tangible. And then also, if you could have some, like we've been talking about, testimonials, that would be great. And this looks a little weird. I remember the phrases, when temptation strikes, and something like, tomorrow I'll be glad I resisted today. I might not have this be and that affirmation. I might have this start as a new sentence, just little things, but it just looks kind of weird that this and is not capitalized and it's floating like a floating sentence, even though it does make sense if you look at it carefully. But overall, you're doing such a fantastic job. And you have this place down here where people can rate it. So if you can ask people to, say, hey, I'll send this to you for free if you'll be willing to rate it, and you can get, 10 or 12 people to do that, that can just help so that, looks like you've got some action going on in your store. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And this was so much fun. Thanks for hanging out longer than an hour. Amy Lee asked suggested video links as additional sales tools. I would say no more than 2 or 3 minutes. I don't think people are going to sit and watch a video that's longer than that unless it's like powerfully telling some story. But in most cases, I don't think they're going to watch more than that. So think of it kind of like a commercial link. So if you can tell it in 30 seconds to 2 minutes, you're going to, 30 seconds is really short, but if you can, then go for it. If not, I would say about 2 minutes. So thanks for joining me. It was great to hang out with you all. And I will make sure that the replay goes up tomorrow and goes out, and I will see you all around in the new forum. I'm having so much fun getting to hang out with you there.